Secret friends, unite!
Welcome to the Secret Friends Unite podcast, episode 95. It's 2017. This is your guide to all things geek. I'm your host, Todd Oxtra, joined by my co-host, Charlie Carden.
Happy 2017, y'all. Whew, you didn't want to see the mess after my New Year's Eve. Ouch.
Pink puke, Charlie? Is that a throwback to,
I don't really remember the color, but oh my god, I drank like a 17-year-old.
Like a 17-year-old girl.
Rainbows is what I heard.
Puking rainbows.
Yeah.
Precisely.
And that voice you hear in the background is not a lady friend, but it's actually a new guest to the show. Brian Moore. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
And Brian, you are new to the Secret Friends Unite universe. You joined us through our Fantasy Movie League, I believe, kind of as a side join basis your friendship with Lisa. And you are now a part of the Secret Friends Unite Facebook group. But tell us a little bit about how you got into the world of geek and, what you're up to these days.
The world of geek. Well, probably, I can't remember when I wasn't listening or watching or doing something geeky. I think it probably started with, Batman 66 and the original Star Trek series. And, when Star Wars came out in 1977, it pretty much hasn't stopped since then. It's never been out of my life. The comics, the toys, the movies, it's pretty all encompassing. For the longest time, I felt a little weird going into the toy store as an adult, but, now I have two boys, and it's an excuse to do that all over again. So.
It's like a passport.
Well,
it totally is. I don't have to feel too creepy.
Well, that's why we have children, right? To relive those things and reintroduce them and indoctrinate a future generation.
Right, and force them to like Star Wars.
Please, force. I'm busy working on that with two boys of my own.
Yep. And you're a Michigander, I assume.
I am.
Yep. And what keeps you busy in your day-to-day life?
Well, I'm currently a stay-at-home dad. I just celebrated my 8th year of doing that. In a previous life, I worked at the University of Michigan in the IT department for a brief stint. And prior to that, I worked for Borders for almost 10 years before they went out of business.
All right.
The non-existent Borders.
Yeah.
There was a terrific Borders location in the shopping district of my hometown of Grosse Pointe, Michigan.
Nice.
Right there in the village. Oh, I love that Borders. It was terrific. And it was ironically in the same building where when I was a child, there was a Kresge dime store, if you're a Southeast Michigan person.
Oh, yeah.
I know that is. Yep. Where I got all of my Star Wars figures. And my brother shoplifted some rubber BBs, I think, when he was about 6 years old. Random things you remember. But shoplifting. But no, that's where my first Star Wars figures came, was the corner of Kirchville and Mack. Yeah,
nice. I remember Kresge. Great store. Love it. Miss it.
Borders Books, the home of $35 DVDs.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm so wondering how things didn't go their way. No offense.
I worked for corporate, so I'm sure I probably supported that store, Charlie. When you came in and had a problem with your transaction, I'm sure they called me.
Oh, directly. Like, hey, get this asshole on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That was great.
Well, we're glad to have you, Brian. We know you have been excited about a lot of things Star Wars and the world of geek lately, so we're going to talk about that. But we'll start off with our rumors and news with Madam Web. We'll get into the Geek Easy, and then we'll talk about our 2017 preview and a review of 2016 and what we thought would be the hotness back then. Charlie, I'm sure we got it all right.
Well, we always do, and we always will.
Well, without further delay, Madam Web, take it away!
Now it's time for Madam Web's rumors and news. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, Madam Web. I hope you got some mattress money. Take care of yourself, because when that Obamacare goes away, I'm not sure what the Trump care will be, but it'll probably be rub some tussin on it.
Tussin, let the tussin get in there. I broke my leg. Daddy poured Robitussin on it.
She's a tough lady. I'm sure she'll be survive this and outlive Trump.
Oh,
I believe she was his first wife.
Oh my goodness! Right after President.
That's
Taft.
right.
All right. So, Todd, TV is up first, and being that you're more of the DC cat than me, I'll let you tackle this one. Jeff Johns is your boyfriend.
Yeah, this is kind of a 2-in-1. I mean, Jeff Johns is a Michigander as well. He's probably the most famous graduate of Clarkston High School. He's a bigwig now with DC. He's kind of the creative head of the DC Cinematic Universe. So that's awesome. One of the things though, when he took on that role, he basically was going to step away from writing comics. But there was a recent tweet that he's actually going to start writing comics again, which is cool. Now, hopefully that doesn't mean that he's having less time to work on the movies or his role isn't that really interesting. That's cool. I like Jeff Johns. But along with that, though, came with an announcement that there is going to be another DC TV show. That's what he said, number 5. Watch for a new show coming. And that's interesting because they've got a new show launching this spring called Powerless already. So, I don't know if we were aware of another show that was going to launch. I haven't heard any rumblings or things like that. So I'm not really sure what it could be unless, Charlie, this is my speculation.
By all means.
Constantine comes to the CW.
That was going to be my thing. I hope that's true.
Well, let's break that down. That was a show that was not successful on, was it CBS?
No, NBC.
Okay, yeah, it was a dud. We got 6 episodes.
Yeah, and I don't know how that show failed compared to Grimm, which
4th, 5th season at this point.
And Grimm is not a good show. It's got its friends. It's got its fans. It's got its fans, but it's in. I think Charlie, you even said your wife watched a little bit, but does she watch it anymore?
She did. It was on last night. She watched it because she was up till midnight working. Okay. She was working last night. So while I was downstairs playing Lego Clone Wars, she was watching that show. So, so yeah, exactly. Big pimpin'. Yeah, that was on, and it was the lead into that new Emerald City show, which we watched last night.
How was that? Because I was excited.
I thought it was pretty interesting. But anyway, I digress. Todd, back to you. Sorry.
Yeah, we've already got a linkage into the CW universe, CW. I don't know what do I even call that?
What are they averse to?
I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a name for it because we've already got Gotham on Fox. We've got the 4 main shows on CW, and then we're gonna have Powerless on NBC. So they're kind of covering all the bases of all the main networks and everything. But Constantine already appeared on Arrow last season. I thought he was great because I think he is definitely the right Constantine. I think they just need better writers, and I think being on NBC was the wrong decision, anyways. Because NBC's not known. Even though they did a show like Hannibal, but that was Brian Fuller behind that show, and he is a creative genius, I would say. What he brings to life. But being on NBC, that's a hard beast to go after in the genre category. So,
well, it wasn't the right network for that show, right? I feel like it could work on the CW.
Oh yeah.
And if the Friday night slot is perfect because you need a little bit more of a adult show. That's the only slot left, right? Don't they have something on every other night?
I think so. They do 4 nights a week, 8 to 10.
Yeah, they don't broadcast on Friday, so that would be new.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 shows, 5 nights a week. Yeah. Then they would DC would rule the roost. Yeah, you guys, I'm gonna, and not being someone who's widely versed in anything in DC outside of Batman and Superman, because I'm a Marvel guy, 100% Marvel guy. I did watch Constantine. Todd, I know you were really fired up for it because you love the character. But was it Matt Ryan as the actor? I enjoyed his performance, but agree with you that the show was kind of going nowhere. And that's exactly where it ended up. So does it deserve another crack under a little bit more of a steady yoke, of an established universe and established writing community with now, would this be a Greg Berlanti as well? I would assume he'd be involved if it was going to be no matter what.
Potentially, I'm not sure who. I can't remember the showrunner for Constantine on NBC. Maybe it was him. But quite honestly, I think what you could do is just bring it as kind of like how Legends started, as kind of a mid-season show. It wasn't a full 26.
There you go.
It was,
Yeah.
I mean, if you did like 10 episodes or something, bring it in, because CW does do those kind of like half, the second half season. Like iZombie's only on half a season this year. So.
Yeah, I got
Really?
him wondering
Did
that
they
shows.
cut that?
Yeah, it's not coming back till April, which is really surprising. So most likely that show's only getting 8 to 10 episodes, which is
Wow.
kind of it's disappointing.
Wow.
But that show's obviously a niche view. But I think it's one of the best, one of the most well done genre shows on TV right now. So I'll give them the props. But I think that would be perfect.
Well, that's just the thing. It's not on
No.
TV right now. It's part of the
No, but I think this potentially could be not necessarily Constantine, but it could be like a DC Dark show. Could be like Swamp Thing, Constantine, Zatanna, Damon Hellstrom, the Demon, or not Damon Hellstrom, sorry, some Marvel property.
Yeah, I was
No.
gonna say. I don't think that's
No,
gonna
Jason
happen.
Blood and the Demon.
Was that Justice League?
Yeah,
Dark?
exactly. And they do have they're supposed to have a movie, but I don't know if that's ever going to come to fruition. Guillermo del Toro was supposed to be behind that, but I mean, that dude is behind so many things that never come out because his output's
True.
very low.
True.
But I mean, I think maybe that's how they
True.
could do it, is do like a very dark CW show, because they don't have a supernatural type show. Especially, and they could pair it up with
Right.
Supernatural. Why not?
There you go. What's that, Thursday night?
Which is going to go on
Exactly.
forever.
That show has made a pact
Right.
with the devil anyways. Yeah.
It is the Simpsons of genre shows.
Oh my god, I can't believe it's
Yeah.
still running.
Exactly. But I mean, I think that could be a great show to add on, because that's a genre type they don't currently have in a superhero series. So I think that would be really cool. So, I guess we'll find out more. But hey, the more the merrier. The more variety we get, the better it will be with, genre TV. So there you go.
Cool. All right. Well, moving on to movies and the can't stop talking about it world of Star Wars. I mean, we really expounded obviously last time over the very sudden illness and then very tragic passing of Carrie Fisher, and of course her mother, which subsequently happened. I don't know if we talked about that last time we talked. Did we preceded that, didn't we, Todd?
No, we talked about it. We talked about it.
Okay. No, I didn't know if
No,
we
it's just in a unpublished. Well, Debbie Reynolds. Did we? Yeah, we did, because at that point we did. So we'll strike this conversation, and you can get into it.
Strike it. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. So moving on to the topic of movies, from the very sudden illness and then passing of Carrie Fisher, which broke hearts around the world, particularly for our generation. I'm sure I can speak for everyone here that we were all pretty rattled. Brian, that's very hardcore. I'm sure it really nailed you.
Oh yeah, it was tough. It's still tough. We're still talking about it every time a new tribute comes out or a new news article.
Right.
Yeah, I get a little teary.
Exactly. No, I feel you. But the conversations, as I understand it, are going to start actually in Los Angeles at Lucasfilm this upcoming week with Colin Trevorrow and Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm about what is going to happen with the Princess Leia character in Star Wars Episode 9, which will start filming next year, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Carrie Fisher wrapped her filming of Star Wars Episode 8 in the summertime. It's in the can. That's done. And they're editing that film, and we're going to be seeing that this Christmas, and rumors are that we'll be hopefully seeing a trailer this spring. That's the most prevalent rumor. But there are a million schools of thought, and Todd, you and I, or maybe it was you or I who posted an article that got a conversation flowing about what is the appropriate way to handle this character in that film and then going forward.
Yep.
So, Brian, what do you think?
Well, there's a lot of different trains of thought, right? It's rewrite the story. That's one. CGI her in, which I know a lot of fans hate. Get a new actress. Change the storyline. I don't know where to go. I mean, one comment I read, which kind of makes sense at this point, is, Carrie Fisher came from Hollywood royalty, right? So she would probably want the show to go on, no matter how they do it. I don't know. I can't really say I'm okay with them recasting her. It's not like the whole Dumbledore situation in Harry Potter. Carrie Fisher is entrenched with the character of Princess Leia. So what do you do at that point? And I mean,
it launched a generation of fandom, that character and that actress. So that's really hard. Yeah,
I don't know. It's going to be tough, and I don't envy their decision. I'm sure there's a brain trust of people trying to figure that out right now.
Right. Todd, what about you?
Yeah, I can't see a whole movie with CG Princess Leia. I really can't. And to just kill her off, these are fictional characters. And I think to say that, I mean, obviously it's disrespectful if you didn't treat the character well and you just say, oh, she died off screen. She died in, I mean.
Yeah, her ship crashed. What do you know?
Yeah, she went back to the Poochie planet. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I think you could recast the role. It would be really hard because she's so iconic. But do you do it with? And it's funny because John, our buddy John Sear, had pitched like Jolie Fisher, who is Carrie Fisher's sister, half sister, but she is younger. So it would kind of jarring. So do you find an actress who looks like her, or do you just go off the cuff and say you get an unknown that's a good actress, or a lesser known like character actress who kind of looks like her but can have the gravitas of that role? Because Jolie Fisher, unfortunately, has only been in like bad sitcoms.
Right. Has she done much?
Her last, when we were talking about this, she was in the Ellen Show, and then the last role she had, she was in that horrible Till Death sitcom with Brad Garrett on Fox.
Oh, with Brad Garrett.
Okay.
Yeah, where she was like, Brad Garrett is a dumb, slouchy husband, and she was the smart wife who barely tolerates her idiot husband.
Oh, that's a recipe for success right there.
I was going to say, isn't that all?
Exactly.
Isn't that is TV gold. Men are idiots. They can't handle children or
oops,
their
you lost
own
the children again. Oh,
yeah. Right. Wah wah. Oh, I had a baby in a band.
I lost her in a poker game. Oh well. But yeah, I think if you find the right actress, I could work out well. But I think that actress and that I mean, we're gonna run in this with other actors. I mean, if Peter Mayhew dies, are you gonna still have Chewbacca? Yes, you will. Of course.
Well, I think they're already got a young guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like they didn't tap David Prowse to go back in the Vader outfit because he probably has a walker.
With Paul, but
yeah. So I'm fine with it. I think if you're going to continue this character and make all of the characters, I mean, if you bring back Han Solo in a Force Han Solo, can you do that? I don't know. He didn't have the Force. You probably won't.
Or did he? Is there a reason he flew so well?
Yeah,
ooh,
but I'm fine with it. I think it's something we need to see, and especially if Star Wars is going to live for the next 100 years, it's just, we're gonna go after that. And if you recast the younger role, why not recast the older role?
Recast the current day. So, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. We will know something in the next. What do you think, guys? 3 to 6 months, without a doubt.
I don't know.
I was surprised. Some kind of a teaser wasn't attached to not regarding the Carrie Fisher stuff, but I'm surprised something wasn't attached to Rogue One.
Well, I mean, that was addressed specifically again by Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm. She said we want to give Rogue One some room to breathe. We want to give it its legs. And I just read something that said it's the #2 charting Star Wars film behind The Force Awakens. So I think it's had plenty of room to breathe. So what Lucasfilm had said that come springtime you will see something. So
I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yes.
Mark Hamill could stare at the camera for 10 seconds, and that would be fun.
Mark Hamill, I fucks the camera.
You know what's funny? We have not gotten a teaser for episode 8 yet, but we got a teaser for episode 7 to November the year before.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So we're going to have to get something soon, I assume, on that, right?
That was right? There was a lot of anticipation
is it a Super Bowl?
behind that.
Is it a Super Bowl ad?
I don't think so. No, they're uncommitted. So, like I said, they're going to give it to us in the springtime. That is what they're telling us. Why not? Yeah, could it be Guardians?
Or Beauty and the Beast, maybe. That's going to be a big movie.
That's March, right? Yeah. Oh, there you go. That could
it could bring a lot of faces to that movie that might not go to it.
Younger
Which is always
it's the Wing Commander of the Wing Commander effect.
Todd, you have got to get some Wing Commander theme music.
The inside joke is I saw the crap fest that was Wing Commander just so I could see the episode 1 trailer, and I regret seeing that. I mean, I was excited for episode 1 after seeing the trailer, but I had to go through that movie, and then I got episode 1 the way it was, and it was just a lose-lose situation.
It is a memory that will burn in your heart for the rest of your life.
So we go from Princess Leia in episode 8 to the next Star Wars story, which is Han Solo's solo adventures. And apparently, and this story is actually from a good friend of ours. It's Dan Davis in the Secret Friends group, who has a new site called Game Acuity, and he published this story about Han Solo movie being pushed from a May date of 2018 to now December of 2018.
Todd, it here too needs to be referred to as the Han Solo solo movie.
I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo.
Solo.
Which, if you remember the Xbox 360 Connect Star Wars game, there was a horrible dance off game, and one of the songs was, I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. Yes. So yes, there was that. So yes, and this is not actually surprising to me at all, that moving a movie from May to December, where you're going to be competing in between Marvel movies, DC movies, Hollywood big blockbusters for the summer, to December, where literally there's typically one geek movie in that time frame. Why not? I don't even know why they even talk about a May movie timing, unless we get 2 Star Wars movies a year. I think this will be where all Star Wars movies launch.
Right. I think it's just more of a pullback from the whole the way Lucas did it. Wasn't the May release date attached to his birthday? Yeah, right. So that's
May the 4th,
May 14th,
all that stuff. Yeah.
Right. So I love the December release date. You have Star Wars, then you have Christmas.
Right. Star Wars Christmas. Well, gee, Todd, the steep competition from Avatar 2 might sink it. I don't know.
Yeah, what is the deal with Avatar? Because they've got a Disney partnership in regards to their theme parks, but it's Fox. That's actually.
I thought it was. I thought it was
Fox behind Avatar, anyways. So it's like, but quite honestly, when is the hell is the Avatar movies even coming out again? I mean,
Cameron keeps pushing them out. I mean, there's a paragraph in this article here that says. Disney, if they would decide to delay the movie, some of the cast from Avatar 2 have doubts about Avatar 2 making its December 2018 release. So it's into 2019, so then it's competing with Episode 9? I mean, can we just let it die? I mean, yes, it's the biggest film of all time, but I have not bumped into almost anyone who has any anticipation or excitement around Avatar 2. I mean, do you? Anybody?
I'll see it. I'm not saying I'm excited about it.
Well, Charlie, I've got all those Avatar toys. I mean, just sitting around doing nothing.
I mean, I saw Wing Commander.
Yeah.
So I'll see this.
Yeah. I'll be sitting there gritting my teeth the whole time. This fucking piece of shit.
I mean, the Smurf, they're like mutant Smurfs, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're looking for their Smurf berries, and they have ponytail sets.
I had a guy who I used to work with who said it's like Pocahontas with blue people.
That's right.
Absolutely, it is.
That's your movie.
And they're supposed to be exploring the whole world, and there'll be mermaid blue people. There'll be rock blue people. All the elements. Desert blue people
with those weird hair interfaces that they had.
Are they going to take on other? Yeah, I don't know. You know what? It's hard to doubt Cameron because he really has not had a failure since The Abyss.
Oh man!
Right.
Well, no, it was good, but I mean that was his least probably. Yeah, that was probably his least successful movie, that he ever did. But I mean, he rarely ever repeats his process either. I mean, he's only had one sequel, which was Terminator 2. Well, exactly, but beyond that, he always goes to something else. So when he's talking about going to do 4 movies and 3 in a row, and I don't know, I have very little interest. But outside of Avatar, though, the other news that was out there is going to be a mentor for Han Solo, and there's 2 names that are being thrown in here. The first one was Woody Harrelson.
Only know one.
The other one is Christian Bale.
Let's go with Woody.
Yeah. Well, I could see either one, but I'll take Woody. Christian Bale's he's a little too shticky with this whole Jack Nicholson impression.
I'm not aware of that.
Better for the fourth.
But you're not aware of that? It's his entire persona. Christian Bale.
Oh, yes. yes. Christian. I was gonna say I'm not aware of the Christian Bale, Jack Nicholson. I would love to hear that, Charlie.
Christian Bale, Batman. Hey, I'm a Batman.
Here, what would it be like? Here's Johnny. I think that's what it is.
Oh,
sorry, Charlie. You're the Charlie Toon ad. But yeah, so those are the two actors. I mean, both are awesome. I mean, one was on Cheers, one was in that Dragon movie.
Yeah.
Right? That was their most famous roles. Yeah. I think either way, it's awesome, although Woody Harrelson has already been kind of a mentor for, like, the Hunger Games. Yeah. So I think either character would be great, or actor would be great, and Christian Bale hasn't done much since The Dark Knight Returns. Or Dark Knight Rises.
No, I don't think so.
So I don't know. I think either of those choices would be great, and it would be fun. I'm really looking forward to this movie. I know some people weren't, but I mean, it's, quite honestly, I think Han Solo, of all the characters, had more action going on before episode 4 happened anyways. He was off doing crazy things. He was getting, apparently there's controversy in Han's pants. People have said that the pants that he wears looks like he stole them from Lando.
Brian, you go right ahead. You know the deal with his pants.
You know, it looks like they share each other's clothes. I mean, at the beginning of Jedi, he's got Han's clothes on, or at the end of Empire, I'm sorry.
Right. Well, you know what? If you think about it, they take the Millennium Falcon back to the fleet. He goes into Han's apartment, and he's like, oh, I like this shirt. The vest it's unisex, one size fits most, and. You know, the pants, I'm going to have to wear a belt, but...
It's like
there you go. Or, you know what, maybe he was just rummaging through whatever the hell was in the Falcon.
True.
It's like, let me looking through Han's closet, because he didn't have far to go afield to find some new threads.
He lost
the cape.
Yeah, what else was he going to wear? He had that one outfit. He had the blue blouse and the cape.
Which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm obsessed with the cape. I'm really obsessed with the cape. That I think will be a huge part. That'll be a plot point of this movie, is how Lando got that cape.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to this movie. I don't know if it was necessary, but now that they've announced the different actors that are involved, I'm looking forward to it.
It has made itself necessary. Well, I think this is what I'd like to see. Less anything racial. I want to see Todd do a Lando Calrissian cosplay with cape.
A horrible mustache that I can grow potentially.
Right. Well, not everybody can.
I was going to say I have to get like a wig, and then I have to get a cape. I mean, but I love.
But I was trying to say not racial, so no blackface.
But we know.
Yeah,
but we know in this movie that instead of a droid, we will get Lobot as kind of the third wheel, right?
Yeah.
Right. The kind of spunky, Kraken-wise bot. Well, Lobot never talks.
Well, apparently he used to talk in the comics. That's how he lost his voice, right? There was a story about how Lobot lost his voice, right?
Right, that was in the Lando comic, and his brain got scrambled or something. That's what it has to do with the reverse of Geordi's visor from Star Trek is on the back of his head.
Yeah, maybe it'd be like Bumblebee from the Transformers movies where he can't talk anymore, but he does like commercials and like weird like audio cuts.
He can pull songs on the radio.
Yeah, he pushes a button and it's like, "Baby, come back."
and then he shrinks down and he's Baby Lobot and it'll be cute.
Oh, Todd.
And then it'll be cute.
Exactly.
Like
God, you are.
I am printing money. I know the Disney formula. You bring in a cute character who does funny things and witty things, and it's like everybody loves them.
Baby Lobot, Baby Low.
So that is the movie news for this week. And then lastly, in games, there's a lot of stuff going on with games because the new year, we're actually getting some actually concrete evidence when things are happening. We've got the Nintendo event coming up this week, which I'm really excited about. But the big thing I want to talk about is Mass Effect Andromeda got a release date of March 2017. This is awesome because Mass Effect is not only my favorite game series of all time, but one of my actually favorite genre franchises of all time. I love this series. It's got a fantastic universe. The characters are awesome. It's a series where you are making decisions and they're carrying through from game 1 to game 3. And it was really fantastic. You made decisions where the cast of characters and your team, potentially you caused somebody to die or they didn't make it through. And everybody else that was playing that game could have a different team and a different outcome by the end of it. So I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic, that series. And this new series is going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it. It's starting off with you can pick a brother or a sister as the lead character, which is awesome. And you're going to be experiencing a new universe, a new story it's carrying forward. It's not a prequel. Thank God. And it's awesome. This is my most anticipated thing of 2017, regardless of anything else. I will be so excited. I will have at least 20 hours of entertainment for the $60 game, which is fantastic, and I cannot wait. Yeah, I don't know. Brian, did you ever play the Mass Effect series?
I did not. I never got involved with it. I'm kind of a riddle. I own like all 3 current systems, and I barely play games. So.
He's a riddle wrapped in an enigma with a fancy beard.
Yeah, I think it's just because I have to have the latest system. I think that's it.
It's FOMO for entertainment or electronic consoles. Yeah.
Right.
I know it makes me wish I had a PlayStation 4 because all I play is the Traveler's Tales games, the Lego games, and I don't get the best stuff because I don't have a PlayStation.
Yeah, that is a poor decision. But you know what? I mean, quite honestly, this stuff you're going to get, eventually, I think Charlie will get released eventually down the road.
I mean, like with the Lego Avengers, the packs for that, the DLCs for Ant-Man and Civil War still really? Not on the Xbox. Yeah. Well, because I had the game, I finished it, I sold it, I then got it from GameFly a month or so ago, popped it, because I bought the season pass, popped it in to just see if I could grab those DLCs. They're not there.
Damn.
No.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah, so, Mass Effect, I'm so excited for this, but, this year is already there's so many good games coming out, and we're going to talk about that, though, in the 2017 preview. So, I think that wraps up for news for this week. So at this point, Charlie, put on the Yacht Rock, we're going to the Geek Easy, and we're going to geek out.
This is Yacht Rock.
Baby, come back.
Set sail with the smoothest grooves on the ocean waves. Yacht Rock. Album out now.
We're in the Geek Easy. This is where we listen to some Yacht Rock, have a drink, and talk about what we're excited about in the world of nerd. So, Charlie?
Because, baby, come back. Oh, sorry.
He's still singing. He can't stop. He can't stop the Yacht Rock.
TV is starting to trickle back, and I started my my 2017 television journey with a non-genre show, with a sitcom, and I enjoy particularly racy sitcoms. I like I like a lot of the Comedy Central stuff. I like Archer over on FX. But we got in the vein of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I'm really bad at watching. I probably have seen a handful of episodes, but I've not been.
You're not worried about spoilers?
No, I'm not worried about spoilers. But the female actress on that who plays the sister, because they're all family.
Yeah, there's a brother and a sister. There's the
yeah.
side friend, and then there's Danny DeVito. Yeah.
Right. So the sister is Caitlin Olsen, if I'm not mistaken.
Not related to Mary Kate.
No.
Right. Who has kind of one of those looks like she's kind of hot, but she's pretty skanky, but there's something that's weirdly alluring about her.
Yeah, the Kelly Bundy.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of like, ugh. So anyway, she stars in this new show on Fox called The Mick, because her name is Mickey. She is exactly the type of character you would expect her to portray. It's set in New England, and she plays this kind of ne'er-do-well scammer who goes up to Connecticut to scam off of her very wealthy sister who's married to a rich guy. And while she's there, the FBI raid the estate, and she and her rich husband flee the country in an effort to escape being obviously being arrested, and for some reason leave her in charge of these three snotty rich kids. There's a preteen son, there's a teenage son, and a teenage daughter. They're all horrible in their own ways, and wackiness ensues. So 2 episodes have been on so far, guys. Have you guys checked this out? Either one of you seen it?
No,
I haven't seen it. No.
It is hilarious. I just, I'm rare to find new shows that I stick with. But I enjoy this kind of irreverent humor. It's rude. It's mean. It's ridiculous. So there's things happening that obviously, wouldn't occur in real life, but very enjoyable. Sure. Again, it's a non-genre show. But it was the thing I saw this week that I think the first episode aired on New Year's Day. It was a special episode. And then it's a regular Tuesday broadcast. So I've seen 2 of them. And I'm wrapped. I love it. And I would recommend checking it out, at least watching one of them to see if the humor kind of gets to you. But I enjoyed it very much.
I did see a clip where she's trying to resuscitate a clown, and as he's a clown that's passed out in the bathtub. He's trying to do it. She's trying to help him as she's pulling out like the, I guess you would say what the handkerchiefs. Like you'd have the gimmick out of his mouth, which was pretty that was pretty clever. Yeah.
Yeah. And that has
that's the preview that's coming up.
Well, look at that. Thank you for the spoiler. You've ruined the plot line of
a dead clown in a bathtub.
But I mean, she does stuff like in the first episode, when she realizes she's all alone in this house, she gets dressed up in her sister's wedding dress with a bottle of wine, and then she slides backwards down the banister, and halfway down, she flips over backwards, lands on her back, and the wine glass smashes on her head. Wine all down the dresses. And so she wakes up in the morning, and she's like, "What do you kids want for dinner?" "Well, first of all, we just had breakfast." And she goes, "Oh, well, first of all, good morning." She's a disaster. So it's a fun show, and she becomes chummy with their housemaid, who's this very heavy set Mexican woman. Yeah, it's just wacky shenanigans. It is a wacky shenanigan kind of show. So I enjoyed that. So that was number 1, and then number 2, premiering in about 5 minutes here. So I'll be watching this on my DVR as soon as we get out of here. Star Wars Rebels comes back, and guys,
they don't watch it on the app. I thought you would have caught it earlier today.
You know what? I did see that it was on the app, but when I found it, April was having an app. My kids were running around, and then when I brought the app up, it started glitching. I was watching something, and it goes to commercial break. It would show the first commercial, then it would get to the second commercial, and it would crash the Roku. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I gave up on that, and then when April woke up, she was like, "You were going to watch it without me?"
No, never. I would never do that. Yes, I watched it, and I won't tell you.
If I was going to watch it again. But at any rate, Star Wars Rebels, we all saw the mid-season trailer. There is everything going on in this mid-season. We got Darth Maul, Finding Obi-Wan is the
Wait, is that the sequel to Finding Dory?
No.
Yes, Finding Obi-Wan, yes.
It looks amazing, by the way. The trailer looks great.
I mean, we're going to get to see Alec Guinness aged Obi-Wan character.
Yep.
That's amazing. You're seeing just more of
same beards.
Yeah, exactly. You're seeing more of things put in motion in the first half of the season. I've rewatched the whole series in the last few weeks, but I just rewatched the first half of season 3, which is on the app when it works, which is obviously not today. So I'm really ramped up about the show. I am reading one of the Rebels prequel novels right now, the New Dawn, which is about how Kanan and Hera meet. I just started reading that, so I'm caught up in Rebels fever right now. So I'm very excited about this rollout. Todd, I know that you and Logan are fans. You watch the show.
Charlie, I think we're getting some rub on your mic.
I think that might be. I think that
I'm hearing like
Brian.
A crink.
Yeah, I think that might be you, Brian. Are you moving? Are you moving?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can hear him. I don't know. It might have been your mic, Charlie, hitting your thing earlier. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, and we'll just call that an edit point. So at any rate, so Todd, you watch the show. Brian, you're obviously being a big Star Wars guy and having kids. You keep up on the show as well.
Love it. I actually just caught up today because you yelled at me this week. So I was actually only 2 episodes behind. I thought it was more, but it looked like it went on a break. So I was 2 episodes behind. I caught up. Loved the last episode with. I don't know. Do we do spoilers here?
Well, it depends. You can't spoil me. No. I have through my son. I've kind of kept recent, but I haven't watched the most recent episodes like today.
So I love the show. I think it's gotten consistently better. The animation has consistently improved. Maul is phenomenal. I love all the stuff they're pulling in from Clone Wars. I love they're even pulling in, they're touching base with Rogue One stuff. They're tying in with the original trilogy. I know when the show originally started, I thought it was a finite amount of seasons. I think they talked about 3, which is what we're in now. Right. So where do we go for, like, did it get renewed? I don't know if it got renewed or not. And,
I got the feeling that it was more of a 5-year plan because it seems like when they started, they said, well, this is 5 years out from A New Hope. So each year is chronological. So now they're 2 years out from A New Hope. So, and then the Clone Wars was a 5-season series, but that was because of the Disney purchase. They killed it immediately. They were like, Disney bought Star Wars, no more Clone Wars. Whack. It was gone. Because then we got a half season of season 6 that dumped on Netflix. And April and I are watching that right now she's seeing it for the first time. We're in the middle of
some great episodes.
Yeah, most definitely. So we just watched one before I came in here where Obi-Wan was fighting the slaver guy and he was beating the shit out of him. I mean, it was a good show.
Well, that was a show that got better when Lucas stopped being involved.
Yeah, as Star Wars as a whole.
Yeah, he just let the guys who were behind the show do their own thing. So they actually created some cool characters, stopped with the horrible comedic events like the little the droids that were like Roger, Roger. Oh my God. And the really
You mean you didn't like the Jar Jar
or the Hutt that sounded like a bad gay stereotype.
Zero the Hutt.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I mean, it was kind of like, oh God, George, you need to retire because unfortunately your ideas on what is funny is a little bit homophobic, racist, and bad.
So did you know that the same guy that did the voice of the battle bots for episode 1, he did the voice of the Death Troopers.
Really?
For, Rogue One. So at least he redeemed himself.
Yeah, there was
surprisingly didn't sound at all the same.
Yeah,
there was a ton of shared voice talent, I think, between this show and then Rogue One, which is I think a nice kind of connective tissue between the two. But anyway, when I'm done with this, I will be watching that. I'm really fired up. Go Rebels. Go Star Wars. Save the Rebellion. Save the Rebellion.
Hey, I don't think we had Clone Wars, I don't think we would have gotten Rebels anyways. I think we would have been only movies, only entertainment, and quite honestly, I think having TV shows adds so much depth to the characters. Like I said, without Clone Wars, I would have never cared for Anakin at all. We wouldn't have got Ahsoka. Right. We wouldn't have got Cad Bane. The clones would have been faceless and pointless. And look what we got out of them. So without that, I think movies only provide you only so much depth. It kind of gives you a spectacle, but really you have to then think, you have to look for details elsewhere. So, hey, kind of like the Star Wars comics. Those are what kind of added depth for so many years to those characters because we had no clue if we were getting an episode, 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. So there you go.
Well, we went 15 years between Return of the Jedi and episode 1, unfortunately. And then, that ended in 2005 and we got our next movie, in 2015.
Exactly. So I think people that dismiss these shows really, kind of miss the point that to build Star Wars, you have to build depth, and you do that through shows. The movies don't build depth; they build spectacle. Yeah, because you can't get depth with 2 hours unless it's a character piece, and then we've got Aunt Beru, her Lifetime movie, right?
Aunt Beru movie. I will watch that movie.
December 2022.
Meredith Baxter Burney. We
Coming.
get I don't know who would be Uncle Owen and who would be Luke.
I could be
That's true.
Yeah, I think you could get Candace Cameron Brouet in there somewhere.
Oh, Nick Offerman could be Uncle Owen.
Oh,
he'd be great.
He would be a delightfully.
He would be humorless and he'd be condescending.
He could just look grumpy. Yeah.
He'd be like, "Stop bothering me, Baru. Where's the meat? Where's the bantha meat?
Baru, where's my bantha bacon?"
Oh.
All right. Okay, moving on. Brian, you're up next. What's going on with you this week?
All right. Well, I mean, as far as the geekies, I understand it's what I'm nerding about currently. My kids got me a game for Christmas. It's The Last Guardian for PS4. I'm extremely excited about it. It's by the guys that did ICO or ICO for the PS3 and Shadows of the Colossus for the PS3. Games I both loved, and probably one of the last few games that I actually took time to stay up at night and stay up past all my wife and my family and look bleary-eyed the next day. So this is a game that's been in development for a long time for the PS4. It finally came out right before Christmas. I got it. I played maybe the first hour of it. I love it. I want to find more time to play it. These games are very engrossing. The music, the dialogue, the atmosphere. It's not a first-person shooter. It's not it's not a Mass Effect type game. You partner with this character in this game. It's his beast. He's the last guardian, and you have to rely on each other to play the game. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if it gets better or worse because, like I said, I'm only an hour into it. But so far, it's a worthy successor to ICO and Shadows of the Colossus. I'm very excited about it. Loving it so far.
Now, Brian, I have heard that game. I mean, I've played Eco, I've played Shadow of the Colossus. Neither of those games stuck with me, but I totally got what they're going after. With this game, from what I've heard it's fantastic. I've heard it's frustrating. And I think, from what I understand, the frustrating part is Trico, the beast. Charlie, it's like a big cat bird.
Yep.
It's huge. And you got a little boy, and they're kind of companions, and the beast is supposed to help this boy, and vice versa. It's kind of one of those games that really tugs at your heartstrings because it's all about relationships. And
it's very anime.
But apparently, Brian, what they said that the frustrating part is they've made this Trico, this dog bird or cat bird. It's kind of like a real animal, so it doesn't always listen to you. It doesn't always respond.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't always do what you want it to do. Which does get frustrating. It only responds when you're in the right place at the right time. Sometimes it's a giant, right? And you're like a normal human size, and sometimes you crawl on its back and it just looks at you like, what am I supposed to do? So that does get frustrating, but, so far just for the experience, I'm loving
for cat owners, you'll understand that the cat doesn't always do what you say.
No.
Ever do what you say.
No, I would say a cat. I would call it a catbird dog, but
I joked last year about this game. It's like, you know what? Instead of the catbird dog dying, we think that the catbird dog is going to be okay. He's just going to eat the kid. But yeah, that game looks. I would love to play it because I think it would just be great to experience. I might not survive the experience because I might get too frustrated, but it looks cool.
I just need to make my kids go to bed earlier so I can play it more.
Well, thankfully, I don't think it's a long game, so I think you'll, probably 10 hours in, I think you'll be good.
God, I hope. And then other than that, really just, that was the Christmas present I was most excited about. I've been playing that a lot, and other than that, man, I just spend most of my day scouring the internet for episode 8 tidbits.
And that much to be found, I don't think.
No, not so far. And then you had the, Carrie Fisher dying, and that kind of like set the universe on fire, the Star Wars universe, and I think we're all trying to recover from it at this point, including the show owners, Disney, right? They're trying to figure out.
Apparently, they're getting $50 million though because of an insurance clause.
I saw that. Wow, pay the brain trust, make them do something amazing.
Well, I think they should donate that money. I really do. They've got so much money that it's not like it's going to imperil episode 8 at all or episode 9, donate that money. Do something, put it towards the Carrie Fisher, charity. She had mental health issues. She had addiction issues.
Yep, right.
You know what, Disney, do the right thing. Put that towards it, because guess what? You've made so much money from Star Wars already. You only paid $4 billion. I bet they've made that money back in cards.
In merchandising.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, do the right thing. Give Gary Fisher a huge condo. Take care of him for life. Yeah. So I think this is kind of silly.
Poor Gary
but
Fisher.
you know what? I will say this, Brian and Charlie. If you've not tried it, the Star Wars Trader app is a lot of fun. It's basically done by Topps cards. And it's like when you and I were kids, we get the Return of the Jedi cards from Topps. It's just like that. It's absolutely fun. And every day you get credits and you unlock new cards. I got cards from like the original trilogy, Rebels, Rogue One, and it's a lot of fun. And actually, apparently you can trade with other people to complete your set, and it's just fun. So if you want something fun to do with an app that's not a game, Star Wars Trader is fun. It's just it's worth it. And it's
I'm great.
It's fun. You can trade with your friends, and apparently there is a dark market where if you get a really rare card, you can actually sell it apparently to make real money. So, not that I heard that, because it might not be illegal, but I've heard people did that. So yeah, there's really ultra rare cards. So I actually got one of the ultra rare cards, and it's kind of cool.
Did you pay for it? Did you operate?
No. I'm not paying for any of this stuff. Every day though, every day you get free credits, and you can buy and open up card packs and things like that. It's fun, and it looks like you're actually opening up one of the foil packs of cards back in the day. So yeah, it's fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah. So enjoy. Well, I guess it's my turn. So for me, I've got 3 things really quickly. I got a game, a comic, and a TV show. So a triple trifecta. So you may not be the one, but hopefully there'll be one you're interested in. First, Huck, a comic by Image Comics. And it's a trade paperback my wife got me for Christmas. I was excited about this one because I heard good things. Mark Millar, who had done the comic book Wanted, he has really done some fantastic stuff. Sometimes he's controversial because he does some really in-your-face adult stuff, but this comic is fantastic. It's one of the best reads I've had in years. It's a simple story. We'll give you the top line. It's about a guy who lives in a town, and he does good deeds for the town. But he also has superpowers. And the town is protecting him. They don't want his secret to be out. And he was brought to this town as a baby, and they've basically taken care of him and raised him as a village in this small remote town in maybe Idaho, Iowa, Nebraska, wherever. And he does good deeds for everybody every day. He does simple things like take out the trash for the whole town. He gives $20 to a local, a vet. Things like that. He does that things. And somebody finds out what he's doing and his powers and abilities, and they basically bring the network news to him. And he has to struggle with that. He's not a smart guy. He's just a normal guy, and he's a kind of guest attendant. So he's not really capable of dealing with this type of, publicity, but he's kind of like a Forrest Gump. So he's a nice guy. He doesn't get, and it's really neat. I really enjoyed this book. It was only like 5 issues long. I got the trade, and it has a great, it draws you in immediately. It drives a huge, storyline that has a unique premise to it, has a twist, and then it delivers, and it makes you feel good at the end of it, which is not this typical Mark Millar storyline. So, if you're looking for something different, this book made me smile. It drew me in. It wasn't a long drawn out where it had tons of word balloons and things like that, over alliteration. It got its point across very well. It actually made me feel very positive from a comic book for a change, and coming from him and the artwork and just the storyline. And it's going to continue. It was awesome. I love this book. Huck by Image Comics, Mark Millar. Check it out. Next is Batman Telltale. If you're not familiar with Telltale, they make the Walking Dead series of games. They make a Fable game, which is a Wolf Among Us. They made a Back to the Future game. They made a Jurassic Park game. They made a Borderlands. They made a Game of Thrones, and now they've made a Batman game. And there's going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy game too by Telltale. And they do great story-based games. that's on every platform you could ever have. And they talk about their whole mindset on games is we want to have choice and impact. So basically, you want to have a storyline that drives a choice, and when that you make a choice, it has an impact on the rest of that game. They release in chapters, it's episodic, and they will give you little visual cues to say whatever choice you made, whatever characters take that choice away with them. I mean, they'll remember that, or they were happy with that choice and things like that. And at the end of every chapter, you're told how many users made the same choice as you did or didn't. So it's really cool. It's really a unique way to have storytelling, which I think is unique for games that TV, media, whatever can't. And the way they do episodic is they take feedback from the fans and actually drive that into their remaining story, which is also cool. And you don't get that typically with TV or anything else as well. They have their Bible in TV and movies, and you're done. You get no impact. So potentially the TV show could go awry because maybe they're going the wrong path. So it's kind of cool. So typically those games take from 5 to 7 months to finally finish up. Typically 5 chapters, which is kind of cool. But this one is Batman, which is kind of, people would say, what would you do with Batman? How would you make it different? And I really like the way they approach this. I finished chapter 1, and Charlie, you have access to this too. So you can play, and I would highly recommend it because it's a different type of gameplay. You tried episode 1 of The Walking Dead, and I think with Batman, this is another way of showing the character. And they've introduced characters of the Batman mythos, and they've changed them enough that it's like, wow, this is actually more of a R-rated Batman than we've seen before in regards to its content, the way they approach the character, and the way they really flip the mythos. Kind of like this storyline, Bruce Wayne and Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, were actually high school friends. And it was kind of in that kind of draws into a complication of interest. So, in the way you do Batman, once again, you basically have action events, and they're more like quick time, where you have to hit a button at the right time to defend yourself, do something, make an action, and it's really well done. It's kind of cool. But you also have detective elements, which is cool. Like Batman has to look at a crime scene, and has to tie it all together. He has to put in 2 events and how do they tie in and what does this do? And I think it's really well done. It's fun. I enjoyed it. And there's 5 episodes out. It's complete now. I've done chapter 1, episode 1, and really enjoyed it. So check that out if you want a different type of video game that doesn't require Twitch but has a lot of great story. So there you go. And lastly, Troll Hunters. It's on Netflix. This is Guillermo del Toro's entry into animation. There was a Hellboy, or well, it was a Hellboy spin-off that occurred back in the day. It was kind of one-off. That was kind of cool. But this is really his first foray in animation, and it's fun. This is for all ages. It's really a kid show, but parents can enjoy it. It's about a kid who's actually not a jerk. He actually, helps out his mom, who's a doctor, but she works at night, and she makes breakfast for her and things like that. So it's like a kid in a positive light. He's not a moron. He's not a loser. He's not a slacker. He's actually responsible and does cool things, which is nice to see versus the kid who's like the loser, but he stumbles into, awesomeness. This kid is actually a good kid. And he ends up getting called for by a device that basically gives him the abilities to become a defender of this race of trolls, which it sounds kind of cheesy and things like that, but it's really well done. It's fun. It's witty. The animation's good, and it's got voice actors like Kelsey Grammer is one of the voice actors, which is kind of cool. The late Anton Yelchin, he's the lead voice actor in this as well. Yeah.
Oh wow. So does Kelsey Grammer sound like
kinda? Yeah. He's kind of like he's kind of like the mentor of the series, which is kind of cool. But there's some twists I didn't expect to happen. Like it's like the teacher that is actually nice and helpful. There's a twist there, which is kind of cool, versus the teacher that's the jerk and things like that. So if you've got kids and want to share something unique to them, and it's a unique and new series versus, hey kids, watch Star Wars. I love this show. You should watch it too. it's something new. It's a new franchise. And I think with a lot of parents that are of the 80s and 90s, we only want to share things with our kids which are of our youth. Try finding something new that's with theirs that's actually not moronic or stupid like a lot of the Cartoon Network shows. Like Unca Grandpa, in Brian, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
All the Disney situation.
Yeah, the live action stuff. But I would say these are actually shows just kind of like Gravity Falls. It's great for all ages. Exactly, and I would say this is in that camp. Yeah. And Charlie, with your boys, I think you'd have a great time watching because you don't feel like you're getting dumber by the minute. You're actually enjoying it. It has a overarching storyline. It's done very well. So check out Troll Hunters. It's on Netflix. Right. There's 26 episodes. They're already dropped, so you don't have to wait. So they're all out there, and they're.
So this is like a Netflix.
It's a Netflix original. It's 26 episodes long. It's 30 minutes each, so it's very digestible and it's very fun. It's fun and it's.
I've been wanting to check it out. I know my oldest son is.
Yeah, it's worth watching with the family. I've watched it with my wife. Enjoyed it, so it's something we can watch together versus watch your own stuff and you don't get to watch those stuff.
Right.
So that is my geek out, and we are moving into the Thunderdome to talk about our 2017 predictions and previews.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
We are in the Thunderdome, and we are talking about 2017, what we're excited about this year. We'll make some predictions, but first, we want to talk about 2016. And did we get...
Really
did we get it right or did we get it wrong? So, Brian, you can feel good that you didn't make any of these dumb predictions or what you were.
No, I'll just listen to you guys.
So last year we kind of picked our most anticipated for movies, TV, games, and comics. So, John is not here, so he doesn't get to defend himself. So we can rag on him if he was wrong, and we'll see if he was. But with movies, Charlie. The most anticipated for me was Doctor Strange. For you, Batman versus Superman.
You know what I could say? I was a wide-eyed optimist.
Yeah, you were optimistic for that one. Oh well, that worked out really well. And John was Rogue One, and that's not really surprising considering he is a Star Wars fanatic. For TV, I called out Preacher, and actually I was pretty happy with how that series ended. So. Actually, from reading the comic to what they did on screen, it was a little slow, but I mean, I see good things for that show going forward, so I was pretty happy with that. Charlie, you called out X-Files. How do you feel about that?
I did. Little 6-episode stint. I thought it was all right. It didn't really blow my mind, but as far as bringing that series back from where it floundered from its last appearance, which was the movie I think that came out in the mid 2000s. I thought it was nice. I thought it was a nice return to form. So I was all right with it.
Yeah, I think outside of the abduction storyline and the aliens piece, I like the other episodes of it. So I kind of feel that way. I felt that way for the X-Files as a whole, though. I did not care for that mythos, black oil, alien abduction thing. That was just not my thing. I know that was the driver of Fox Mulder, but that was never the episodes I loved the most.
Right.
John said Legends of Tomorrow, which I think that show was not great the first year, but I think it's gotten better this year.
Yep, I agree.
For games,
I just got through rewatching season 1. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, I think some things I liked about it, some things I'm like, oh god. Like Hawkwoman and Hawkman, they kind of, that was kind of a killer.
They were the slowest part.
Yeah, and the villain the villain never did anything for me, although the villain's great in the comics, but I felt like he never delivered. Exactly. He's a great concept, but it's like, he just kind of felt like he wasn't that much of a threat, yet he was, and I'm like, really? Oh, well. Yeah. But I think this season's been great. They basically turned into the Injustice Society, which is basically a bunch of bad guys, coming against them, which is great, which is kind of cool. Then with games, most anticipated, Mass Effect Andromeda. Apparently you didn't come out last year. Screw you, but I've got you on for this year. Yay!
You just copy and paste it.
I think I did.
Yeah,
I think I did. I was a little bit optimistic about that. Wide-eyed, bushy-tailed. Now, Charlie, you actually, I think, were the only one that got it right. Lego Marvel Avengers. Was that your game?
Yep.
Of?
It was. It was fun. I also got Lego because I only play the Lego games. I'm not even gonna lie.
You didn't even call out Lego Dimensions.
I noticed that
we got Lego Star Wars Force Awakens, and then we got year 2 of Lego Dimensions. I enjoyed that with my kids and on my own as well. My son spent most of this afternoon playing Lego Dimensions Sonic the Hedgehog, which is all he cared about for Christmas. There's the joy you can find in that. So let Lego all the while. That's Lego all the way.
Maybe next year you'll get I know you didn't put anything on your list for games this year, but potentially you could be getting some interesting franchises coming to Lego Dimensions.
If it's Star Wars and Marvel, but I don't know about that.
You should see that, considering there's no more Lego Infinity. Or, Disney Infinity.
Disney Infinity.
And then John called out Cuphead, which is the game that never wants to come out. I don't even know if we have a release date for that game this year, which is just a shame because that game looks like a 1920s, 30s cartoon. So. And apparently he has a little sidekick called, Mug Boy. So, Cuphead and Mug Boy. Yeah. There you go. Comics, my comic did not come out. It was Joss Whedon's Twist, which was supposed to be a Victorian female Batman. Didn't come out.
Oh my.
I remember hearing about that. What happened to
I
it?
couldn't find any information about if it's coming out even this year. So I don't know. Joss Whedon, he's not doing Avengers anymore. I don't know what he's actually doing beyond.
What's he doing?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's it. But I don't even know if he's really doing anything with that.
Maybe he's working on some top secret project that's gonna knock your socks off.
Well, Josh,
I don't know.
Busy, so I'm sure he's doing something.
Something cool, even if it's a small TV project that he does on his own. I'm cool with that.
He needs to have Frey. Did you ever read Frey?
I loved Frey. I'm a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan.
The Slayer of the Future.
Yep, I love Buffy. I love Angel. I've been reading those comics after, so yeah, love it.
I agree.
Yeah, he does TV so well that I think it's been a huge miss that he hasn't been around. I would love to hear that he's doing a new TV show. Yeah. Charlie, you called out Wonder Woman Earth 1.
You know what?
I don't either.
Anything about it. I never read it. I don't know why I picked it. I think I was, it was kind of throwing spaghetti against the wall. It was like, Charlie, pick something, and that's what I picked. But I don't know if that ever came out. I enjoy Wonder Woman. I enjoy the Elseworld. Something I really enjoy about DC, because I'm not steepled in the background, is I like the Elseworlds tales. They feel more accessible. I love my absolute favorite is Batman Superman Generations, which was written by my hero John Byrne back in the early 2000s. Because they're kind of one and done kind of tales, so they're interconnected within themselves. So I don't have to feel like, I've been reading this since 1939, so I don't know what the hell's going on. So I probably picked that because I thought it sounds interesting, but because those are not so readily available in a service like Marvel Unlimited, which Todd, you and I share, I can't really find it without buying it. So, and I'm cheap and poor. That's how I structure my comic reading. It's what's on Marvel Unlimited. So I don't know. It'd be worth Googling. I'd be curious.
It did come out. It's available on Kindle, hardcover, and paperback, and it did have some issues with the sexuality and things like that. So yeah, but a lot of people liked it. And a lot of people said it's totally sexist. So there you go.
Well, it sounds great. Now I'm just gonna have to look it up.
Maybe it's at your library. Who knows? Yeah, you can request it.
Maybe so.
And then lastly, John asked for post Return of the Jedi comics, and what we got was we did get one. And it was absolutely horrible because it was 5 minutes past Return of the Jedi, and it was all about the Jedi tree, and it was bad and dumb.
Bad.
What was it called,
dumb.
Charlie?
Todd, the Shattered
Empire.
Shattered Empire. It was not called The Shattered Shit. I could not remember what it was called. And it was funny. I said this on the last show that you and John and I were on together. I reread it just because I'm caught up in Star Wars fever, and you guys roasted me for it. It's not going to get better with time. It's still crap.
Right?
I remember.
Were we right,
that.
Charlie?
Yeah. I sound like my son. Yeah.
Yeah, did they get that Jedi tree?
They did at the end, and yes, it rereading comics is kind of like watching an episode of a TV show over again. It does basically still end the same way.
Like Lost?
Like Lost. There you go. There's no gold at the end of the rainbow. Sorry.
No.
All right. Well, let's dive in. Todd, take us into 2017.
2017 is hopefully a better year than 2016 because we had a lot of deaths, and also it was one of the worst movies in film I can remember. Not a lot of great film. I mean, there were some standouts, but ultimately, I mean, I would say Deadpool, Civil War, and I like Fantastic Beasts and Road One, and other than that, there weren't a lot of great genre movies. It was kind of disappointing. So I'm hoping for a better year coming up. So, I'm not going to go through all the movies, but we're going to talk about what we're excited about. Does anybody have predictions about 2017? Like any new franchises or I guess trends or anything you'd expect in 2017?
New franchises maybe. I'm hoping that what I'm most excited about, I'll talk about, is going to land and turn into a successful good franchise. But the next big thing, I don't know, is there going to be a Hatchimals movie?
Maybe.
That was big this Christmas.
I hope not.
That was big this
It's
Christmas,
Monster Trucks,
wasn't it?
Charlie.
How about it?
Monster Trucks.
I just watched that trailer. I remember you talking about that one of the recent podcasts. It was horrible.
Oh man. Yeah, I saw that several months ago before some movie we were watching. I'm like, wow. They took the least interesting actor from the X-Men movies and made him a lead.
Yeah, I mean, we do have, a truly series that's been away for a long time that's coming back this year, which is Power Rangers. I mean, that series is, we talk about things that have been around forever. That show started when I was in college, a freshman in college.
High school.
For me.
For me,
it was a freshman in college. And that show has not dissipated in, popularity, and it's back on the big screen. And quite honestly, the trailer made it look like it wasn't half bad. And so hopefully, for a lot of kids, 90s nostalgia, maybe that's the new thing. 90s nostalgia is the big thing that comes back, and maybe Power Rangers is tolerable, and hopefully it is, because we don't need a crap fest for that. We need something that's, fairly fun, well done, and, my son loved the Power Rangers, and he's really excited about this movie, so hopefully it's good, because I'll see it with him, and hopefully it's not painful, but, we shall see. We're going to talk about film, and what we're excited about in 2017. I don't know, Brian, any thoughts on, things you expect in 2017?
Things I jotted down, like I didn't really look at any new franchises, but as far as what I'm excited about, the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I threw that on my list for things I'm excited about. The new Spider-Man movie, which I've been waiting forever for, a really good Spider-Man movie. And all indications are that movie. As far as like the actor they picked and where they're going with that. And then, Star Wars, of course. And if I have to pick one, just Star Wars, I'll just go with that. If Charlie wants to talk about the other two. Because I know he's excited about Spider-Man.
You hit the nail on the head. We got Sam Raimi's Spider-Man back in 2002. And it's limped on ever since. I tried to be excited about that, but it was a piece of shit. And the second one came along a couple years later, and it was uneven, but it had a better villain, a little bit more going on. We got a third leg to that trilogy a couple years later, and it was a death knell. And then we ended up with Johnny Fratboy, who directed the next two. I've seen the guy, and he's just like...
Well, he made an indie film, and that's what he was known for, so that's what he tried to do. So I think he kind of nailed the the romantic piece of it. But the problem was, once again, it was a bad version of a villain. It was Jamie Foxx being weird. It was, it was very odd.
Suffice it to say, that where what I'm headed was, we got those two films. They were not great. But now we were introduced to Tom Holland as Peter Parker in last summer's Captain America Civil War. He had kind of a peripheral role in that, and he nailed it. He got everything he got everything about Peter Parker that I've ever wanted to see. Kind of touched my heart to the young, the awkward, I got these powers, I don't know what to do, so I'm running around, and he alluded to the fact, hey, I made a big mistake. It kind of taught me with great power, yada, yada, yada. And then this is going to transition us into what that next step looks like. Plus, it gave us the hottest Aunt May that we will ever see in Marissa.
Now
Tomei.
that I agree with.
Now that we can handle. So, the trailers for everything, we've got Michael Keaton as Adrian Toomes the Vulture, who is scary as hell. The scarier as that villain has ever been. Because Adrian Toomes is this fragile old jewel thief, creepy, hawk-nosed old man that you're like, I'm not scared by this guy. I could hit him over the head with a 2x4. Michael Keaton is very frightening in this role, and I think he's going to pull it off. But he's got this crazy suit. But I mean, the Green Goblin had a crazy suit too. But this doesn't look ridiculous the way that Green Goblin in that very first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie looked like it was Iron Man Green Goblin with the face with he had the grill in the front that you could see his lips moving underneath.
Yeah.
It was like a bad Darth Vader.
It was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Green Goblin.
Oh my God! I guess he was practically neon green. So, this movie is packing all the punch in the world. Yes, I'm incredibly also excited about Episode 8, but in my heart, Spider-Man's been in my life nearly as long as Star Wars has. But I'm more ingrained with Spider-Man because I've read it for 30 years now, on and off. And lately, in the last 3 years, every single night, I'm reading a Spider-Man comic. So Spider-Man is very, very dear to me. So, that's gonna be it for me. That's gonna be it for me, dog. Todd, how about you?
For me, I'm excited for Spider-Man. I'm excited for Guardians of the Galaxy, despite I'm very excited about Baby Groot because, we know Baby Groot will be a one and done and we'll get regular Groot back. So it's just kind of a gimmick in that movie, and it will parlay. Hopefully we don't get a spin-off with Baby Groot because, we need to know what Baby Groot was up to in the side years because we don't.
You leave Baby Groot alone.
I'm fine with Baby Groot. I just hate that.
I want a TV series.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody wants
a
ongoing comic series. They want a video game series.
You're going to kick off this.
Lisa told me to tell you that you're dead inside.
That's fine.
Yes. You're going to kick off this backlash that is going to destroy us all, Todd. It's going to be the end of the Secret Friends. You're going to destroy us with your Baby Groot hatred.
Fine. Baby Groot will die, and we'll get an awesome regular Groot instead because that's who we fell in love with, and that's who's awesome versus little Baby Groot.
Hey, you know what? I have one thing to say.
I am Groot too.
He said it all. He said it all.
Exactly. So I do love James Gunn. I love his style. Maybe he won't annoy me with the Baby Groot. Maybe it's the marketing that's going to annoy me and all the fans bombarding me with more Baby Groot versus James Gunn doing it right. So that's typically what annoys me most.
Anyway, Todd, what are you actually excited about?
For me, it's Logan because one of my favorite comic books of all time is Old Man Logan, and this movie hopefully will right what has been wrong with the X-Men, with Apocalypse, the first Wolverine Origins, half of the Wolverine was awesome, and half of it was like a comic book that was not very good. I'm hoping this is right. I'm hoping they get it right, because the X-Men really kind of kicked off Marvel in total. Without the X-Men doing what it did, I don't know if we get an Avengers. I don't know if we get any of those other movies. Because
I agree.
Because they had to put a team on the screen in the early 2000s when special effects were kind of crappy. what did we get last before then? Spawn. We got some crappy movies. Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, yeah. So we
thanks.
had to re-embrace. And, I think with X-Men 2 we did good. And then we obviously got X-Men First Class, which is awesome. And then Days of Future Past, which I thought was a great next step. And then it just crapped the bed. So I'm hoping this really regrounds it and it's done well. I'm hoping, because I would hate to leave another Marvel mutant movie with a bad taste in my mouth. So Logan, because if they don't get it right, I just so worry that all we're going to get is Deadpool and tongue-in-cheek, no heart, and more fart.
I think it's going to be
You're
good.
saying less artsy,
Exactly.
more fartsy?
I think Hugh Jackman wants to lead the franchise on a high note, so I have pretty high hopes.
And it's R-rated. So maybe that's what they needed to do.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right. A little bit.
Although
more
I have heard that Ryan Reynolds is courting Hugh Jackman for.
I think it'll be fine I think Deadpool, anyways, in the future, if they're going to do another movie, they need a straight man to level out Deadpool's wackiness. You kind of got with that with Colossus, but it was metered. But I think you do need like a Cable or somebody who's kind of like the old fart to level him out.
Like me?
Yeah.
someone who's more fartsy.
Oh God! And I
less
just
artsy.
finished the Deadpool video game, and oh my God, it was awesome. But it was so over the top.
Really?
I mean, it wasn't well done, but they got the heart of that. That game was done in 2013, and they nailed Deadpool so well, and just it's so ridiculous. And I think I put out on the group the end cutscene, which just watch it. It's like 5 minutes long. But it's funny because it's all about, breaking the fourth wall, Wolverine sitting there, or Deadpool sitting there saying, "Hey gamer, hit Axe, kill Mr. Sinister, what are you doing? I know you can't handle these complex button pushes and combos," and he's like, and it's so funny, it's like, the guy just won't push the button, and Deadpool keeps coming back to scream, "What the? I'm waiting, I'm growing old with age." They do it, and as they end the game, the cutscenes have a Deadpool rap where he does it, and he's like, it's absolutely hilarious, it's not expected. Right. It's hilarious. So if you get a chance, check out the Deadpool video game, like, end credit scene. They nailed it so well. It's witty, it's fun. The actual gameplay itself was not great, but they got that character right. So there you go. So we then transfer into TV. So Charlie, we got a lot coming this year, and I'm excited about 2017 because TV is just packed with new stuff, returning things that were awesome year one, and oh my goodness, Charlie, you've got a...
I know what Charlie's excited about.
We do truly live in the golden age of television, simply for some of the great some of the great content we got, for the variety of kind of delivery platforms that we get it on. And, my top pick is a great example of that, coming in May, I hope, as it's been described to us, on the CBS All Access app, which I'm not thrilled about, but from a business standpoint, it's very clear why the folks at CBS are doing it this way. They need something big to put this app on the map, as it were, like the elf on the shelf, if you prefer, which probably you don't. But at any rate, they need to get something to launch this, to cement this to be somebody you want to pay for. Star Trek's 11, now 12-year gap from television ends with Star Trek Discovery.
Looking forward to it.
This upcoming May. I have been a Star Trek fan since I was 10 years old, really around the same time I discovered Spider-Man. I have been a dyed-in-the-wool, never missed a beat since I was in high school. Todd knows. I tape the show, edit the commercials out, had this huge VHS library. When it comes to 24th Century, not necessarily the original series, but when we're talking TNG, DS9, Voyager, and then even on Enterprise, there is almost nothing you could hit me with that it was a trivia question that I couldn't hit you back with. I am so steepled in it. I know, I see all. Like Geordie and his visor, I see it all. So this is very exciting. We did finally get some casting news. We're getting Sonequa Martin Green from The Walking Dead will be a female character, the lead as described. We're getting Doug Jones, Abe Sapien from the Hellboy series, going to be a science officer. Anthony Rapp, who always seems to play a jerk, from School Ties, from Road Trip. He was not a jerk in Rent, but he was in there. But great character actor. All going to be actors on the show. No doubt more to come. Seems to be set. Now, the only thing that doesn't really drive me nuts is that it is still set in a TOS, an original series. And no disrespect to you, Brian. I know you mentioned you were a big original series fan. I'm kind of when it comes to the original series. I'm not as big on it because I was raised on TNG. That came out when I was in 6th grade. That show dropped, and I was immediately sucked into it. So that became my Star Trek world. I would like to see something a little more contemporary to that, but this series of Discovery is going to dial us back 10, 15 years before the original series. Going to give us a little bit of conflict with the Klingons. Whatever they do, I describe Star Trek as my my unconditional love of fandom. Whatever it is they do, good, bad, indifferent, I will be immersed in it. I will know it. I will watch it. It'll be critical to me.
So this is no longer January. I originally thought, wasn't it originally January?
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. It got bumped back 2-3 months ago. They're like,
it's May, right?
We're not ready, and then they finally. Yeah, May. So they
finally. And Brian Fuller got booted, right?
Yeah, he quit or whatever.
No. He is actually running American Gods, so he said, I can't run 2 shows at the same time. Here's folks I worked with. They understand my vision. And they will take over the show, and they've worked with him before, so he's leaving it in good hands.
And then he broke out. So at any rate, we're going to get this. I would expect heartily in the next 2 or 3 months we're going to get some more details. No matter what they do, it's going to be tremendous. The thing that really killed Star Trek, and Todd, I know you can speak to this as well, is the sameness that it evolved into.
Yep.
They had their good, it was kind of too much of a good thing. They had their golden era in the 1990s. That kind of dragged into the early 2000s with Voyager, which started in 95, ended in 2001. It was pretty bland. Nothing exciting happened in that show. And it dumped us into Star Trek Enterprise, which had its bright spots, got great at the end, but it was too little too late. And then they killed the whole thing altogether. And then we got a string of movies in the late 2000s, which I have mixed emotions about. But this could be a title point, and Todd and you and I have talked about this extensively, to return Star Trek to its true prime of greatness, which is television. So that's the main thing I'm thinking about when I think about TV this year, is this program.
Yeah, can't wait. There was actually an interview with Doug Jones on IGN. Did you watch that, Charlie? I
did not.
The story. It's actually pretty good. He talks about that because he's going to be an alien, and that's kind of cool that we're going to get that as a main character. He's obviously going to be in CGI, makeup, things like that, which you haven't had before. You've had guys in makeup, so unless he's going to be in makeup,
right.
I'm happy for that. But why not? It could be interesting, and maybe they really make new storylines and new exciting things that they haven't touched on in Star Trek. I don't want Borg. I don't want the old, same old. Right. I want new experiences, new aliens. I want new ideas in Star Trek. Not just a repeat, because that's what happened to Voyager. They basically said, nobody's watching us. Bring in the Borg! Bring in Q!
Borg,
exactly.
Borg!
Yeah. So, hopefully it's good.
Most definitely. All right. But anyway, I babbled long enough. Who else?
Brian has nothing to talk about, obviously.
Nothing!
Right. So I don't know how much you want me to talk about. So as far as what I'm looking forward to for this year for TV, Stranger Things Season 2. This show took me by surprise. I saw the trailer in last year and I thought, wow, this might be something I like. It's got Winona Ryder in it. It could be cool. And I was just blown away. I loved it. I love the atmosphere. I love the 80s setting. I love the soundtrack. I just bought it on vinyl. I know it's the hipster thing to do, right?
Woo, you hipster son of a bitch. You are down there in Ann Arbor, so what the hell?
Right. I absolutely love it. I probably watched the series 3 times. I love the kids. I love the kids that they picked to play the roles. It very much felt like what it was supposed to be like, which was an homage to Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, just the Goonies, the movies of the 80s. And that's, you know, I love all that. So I mean, it kind of caught me and as it did a lot of people. And I love it, and I can't wait to see season 2. I love 11. I can't wait to see if she's still alive. I'm sure she is.
I'm telling you that girl will someday play Princess Leia. She's already
She's
expressed
amazing. She should.
As long as she stops rapping.
I agree.
God almighty. Stop rapping, kid.
Ah!
So a second I have in my list, American Gods, Neil Gaiman books, made into a series. As you said, Brian Fuller jumped ship from Star Trek to go to American Gods. I love the book. I'm hoping, you know, fingers crossed that the television show is going to be amazing. We'll see. It's stars, right?
Oh yeah, Ian McShane. It's going to be.
Yep.
Hopefully, it's going to be good. That was one of my most anticipated too, and I don't have stars. I probably will do what I did with Ash vs. the Evil Dead, and what I will probably do if I can avoid spoilers is pick it up after it's done and then watch it in 1 month.
Yep. I can't wait. I hope they do it justice. I love the talent that's involved, so, you know, who knows?
Charlie, do you know what that show's about?
Not a thing.
No. American Gods, Neil Gaiman wrote the book, and it was all about how the fact is the gods are changing from, like, the Greek gods and things like that to more of the geek, the god of the internet, the geek of, the god of, popularity and, you know, and kind of think of, like, TMZ, and it's kind of like that internet and things like that were changing deities to be different, and the original gods were kind of pissed off about it. So there you go.
Yep. And there's a war, right? I think war takes place.
Yeah, there's about brothers, Spider, you know, there were some things. So it's kind of cool, and Neil Gaiman always has a unique take on these things.
Doctor Who, which I'm probably in the period where Star Wars wasn't, you know, taking up every moment of my time. I took up Doctor Who during the reboot in 2005. I love Christopher Eccleston. I love David Tennant. I love Matt Smith. I've been enjoying, Peter Capaldi. I can't wait to see his new season. And I'm looking forward to see what the new showrunner brings to the world after this season ends. And then the last two I have on my list are just shows that I can watch with my kids. I have a series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix, which I think the books were great. The Tick is narrating it, so I think that's going to be amazing.
Putty.
And Voltron. Right, Putty.
Yeah,
yep,
Putty.
Seinfeld. And then Voltron, which the reboot. We love the first season of the reboot, and I can't wait to see season 2. We were kind of left with the new way that Netflix does these shows, which you can consume a whole season in 2 days. We've been waiting for a year to see, you know, what happened, you know, because we like kind of took off a weekend and watched the whole season. So I can't wait to see what happens to the team next.
And I'm lame because I loved Voltron growing up as a kid, and I've yet to watch more than one episode of that show, so I need to watch more of it because I really liked what they did. And the new toys, Brian, have you seen the new toys? You can make the whole Voltron with the new toys, and it's not ridiculously expensive. And they look good.
Exciting. It looks awesome. I have to focus what I spend my money on, and right now it's Star Wars.
No, you do this. This is your birthday present. This is your Christmas present. You just give it to the kids and like, nope, you can't touch these. I'll build them for you.
I'll take it. It's me with the Legos. No.
It's all strategy with children.
No, but I do recommend the new series. It's very much an homage to the 80s Voltron, very much more so than the one that they tried, I think, maybe 5 years ago or something like that. Yeah.
2 shows. Brian already talked about American Gods. I'm excited about that, so no more to be said about that. But a new show that we haven't seen before is a comic book comedy. So Powerless is that. Mm-hmm. We're getting that from DC. It's going to be on NBC, and I think they've got the talent right, and hopefully they're going to take it on right. But basically they're saying it's a agency either that's more like correcting the damage that the powers the superheroes do in the DC universe, or it's more like they're a agency that reports on them. So I'm not completely 100% clear on the actual agency that's involved, but it sounds like it's going to be more of a tongue-in-cheek. Alan Tudyk is kind of the boss, but he's kind of like the Michael Scott boss. So he's kind of like, yeah, exactly. He's kind of dumb. He's kind of like overbearing, but he thinks he's the cool boss. So I think it's going to be like that. But we've got Vanessa Hudgens as the protagonist. We've got Danny Pudi in as well in that, and it's going to be involving the DC universe. So it's probably going to be more like the Tick than the other DC shows. So I'm hopeful that this does well. I really do, because I think we need more variety in the superhero shows. So we've got that. And then Magician Season 2 is coming back at the end of January. And that was my number one show of 2016. Absolutely love that show. And Magicians just, I think, does so much so right. And it's really, if you've never watched this show, it's basically Harry Potter in grad school with drug, sex, and rock and roll.
That's how I've heard it described. Harry
it's
Potter
awesome. It's on Netflix now. Season 1 is on Netflix, and I think it's even uncut and unedited, which is good, because in the show, when they show it on Sci-Fi, they actually, like, mute the people when they say the dirty words, but you can see what they're saying, which is cool. So they don't reduce the impact, but they basically make it cleanse it for mainstream TV. So it's awesome. The first season ended almost in a red wedding, which was just fantastic. And it's basically like, it's Harry Potter meets Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe with I don't even know what, an adult TV show like Breaking Bad. So it's awesome. If you enjoy adult science fiction, it's probably up there with like The Expanse and shows like that. Sci-fi is doing things right now, finally. So Magicians is an awesome TV show. So season 2, I cannot wait. My wife, she doesn't like sci-fi, she doesn't like those shows, but she binged Magicians. So that's all I can say. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we go from TV to games really quickly. Charlie, you probably think a Lego game's coming out this year? Probably.
We got 2 this year. I mean, I think, we'll get a Star Wars something. I wouldn't be surprised. It'd be great. We got Lego Force Awakens in the summertime, so it'd be great if we got something like that again. And, we'll get Lego Dimensions Year 3 in September, if it follows a path. And there's always the hope that we could get some more mainstream franchises, the big Disney stuff, like we had said just previously, because, with Disney Infinity scrapped, maybe those properties, if they wanted to get in on the phenomenon, because the game does still chug along. There's still a lot of people really excited about it. So we will see. Other than that, I'm a loss for game stuff, guys, so I'm going to kick it on over to you.
I think you get a Lego Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the first 2 games. I think you could see that.
Interesting. Yeah, they've never done that. I didn't think about that.
I can see that happen.
That seems very likely.
Yeah, sorry, Brian, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. No, I was just saying I could see that happening. I know Charlie's excited about the Lego games. I have it. I like what I've seen. I've played it with my 9-year-old. I want to play more. I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah, I mean,
we played the Doctor Who level a little bit. I like it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You know what's the greatest about that Doctor Who character set is that no matter what hub you're in, if you have the setting click to it appropriately, if the character dies in game, he respawns as the next Doctor.
Nice, I like it.
In game, and it just continues to cycle through. And as you become a new Doctor, hop into TARDIS. The inside of the TARDIS is different.
Awesome.
From Doctor to Doctor. So check that out, and you'll see. So just go to one of the worlds and just jump off a cliff. And they'll go, it'll come back as another guy, and he'll speak as that Doctor and stuff, and it's cool. It's cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and the Lego Dimensions is kind of unending, considering that Warner Brothers can bring any property they want. And they've said through year 3, you won't have to buy a new starter pack. So that starter pack is like $40. So if you like it, it's the time to do it. I'm trying to sell mine because, my son's moved on past Lego now. He's 11. He's a big boy, apparently.
He's too cool for it.
For me, those games, they just don't have the. I mean, I'm a gamer. If the games they changed, I don't know, the gameplay quite a bit. It added some like combat or unique techniques or something like that. They just haven't, and they don't have any online co-op. I think if that's what needs to happen with those games to really drive some excitement, because I would play with you, Charlie, but I can't. So without that,
right.
Yeah, without that, to me, it's like, I'm just hitting bricks and collecting bricks. And that's kind of gotten old. Oh, well.
Right, sure.
So, Brian, for you.
Okay, so this year we're supposed to have Injustice 2.
Yes, did you hear the release date was announced? Or was rumored?
No, I didn't hear release
May
date.
2017.
Nice. I'm very much looking forward to it. This is a lot of the same voice cast that's involved in Batman the Animated Series. As well as Teen Titans. I know that the same guy that does Cyborg on Teen Titans does it in this game, and of course you have same guy that did animated series. He's in Justice 2. He is Batman for me, Kevin Conroy. You can throw any movie Batman my way, but he'll always be my Batman. As well as Mark Hamill as the Joker, right? I think he's in this. I don't know that for sure, but he was in the first one. So I'm looking forward to that. Just a great fight game. I mean, with some great cutscenes. I know if you YouTube the videos, you can see the whole story pieced together. It was kind of an Elseworld type storyline.
Did you ever read the comics? There's a whole
never did.
comic book line based on Injustice, and it's really it's actually very heralded to have a great storyline. You should check it out.
I'll check it out. I didn't know there was comics.
They're like season 3.
My nephew bought me this game, and I loved it. So I'm looking forward to part 2.
The folks that are behind this is the folks that did Mortal Kombat, and they do really great story-based fighters. So you have more than just beating up people. You actually get a good storyline and great characters. And apparently with this game, Brian, they're going to do more about the upgrades. You get different armor and different things like that, which will add more replayability, which is kind of cool.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, I love the first one. I played it forever, and I'm looking forward to see what they do. And if they add more depth and more character, that I'm loving it. And then the only other game I have on my list is Resident Evil 7. So this is the one that kind of started me back in the gaming. I mean, I had the Atari when I was a kid. I had the Genesis in the early 90s, and then I kind of stopped for a long time. And then, the late 90s when they kind of rebooted the franchise with, or not the franchise, but, gaming for me personally with the PlayStation 1, and it had Tomb Raider 1, and it had Resident Evil 1, and it had all kinds of other games that made me stay up all night, to beat these games and call the 900 numbers to get hints. Before you could get like hint books or like go onto a website. Like I spent so much money on a 900 number that wasn't a sex line.
Honey, who are you talking to? I just need the tips.
Right. I'm figuring out how to get Laura Croft past this level.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get her to take her top off.
So that nude code, the nude raider code, yeah.
Right, so I'm hoping Resident Evil 7 is a return to form. I didn't really enjoy the last couple. So Resident Evil Code Veronica was my favorite. So who knows? I mean, maybe this will be like that, maybe it won't. But it's kind of like Star Wars at this point. I'll check it out no matter what it is. So that's kind of what got me back into gaming in the late 90s. So I'll drop my $50 down no matter what it is. So those are the two I'm most excited about.
There is a demo, actually, for Resident Evil 7. I played it, and it scared the poop out of me. So I'm not sure if it'll scare the poop out of you. It's definitely a different take on it, but I think what they're going after is something that's very unique, and it's going to be compelling. So if you want to...
I would love to check out the VR version, but I don't want to spend $500.
I don't think my heart could manage that. Oh my God. Yeah, it's a little scary. It's a little more of a first person versus third person, so Yeah, watch out for that.
Sure.
For me, I've already talked about Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm so excited for that game. The other game's Hellblade. This is Ninja Theory. They make awesome games. This is a Teal. I think it's a PlayStation exclusive, and they are really looking into the psyche and the well-being of a person's mental state in a video game character. So she's going to be dealing with mental health issues, and I'm really excited because these guys make awesome games, and to add that type of layer is unique and really compelling. So, I mean, there's other games I'm excited about. I'm looking for Nintendo Switch and what they bring to the table, but this game and that developer. So, next we go into comics. And the problem with comics, they don't give you a heads up of what really is coming out more than probably 3 to 4 months. So we kind of have to project and hopefully see beyond the pale. So, Charlie, for you, your pick?
You know, it's tough for me. I mean, you and I, Todd, have been really burned by Marvel Comics this year. Their event series was a joke for the last 2 years. We had Secret Wars, which dragged and was bad. We had Civil War 2, which dragged and we just gave up on it. So, you know, with Marvel, I'm kind of sticking with what I got. I read 3 titles. I read The Avengers, I read The Amazing Spider-Man, and I pick up Champions, which I enjoy. So I guess when it comes to what was on this list, which was nothing really grabbed me, I look for kind of the novelty. I love Batman 66, for example, and Brian, I know you do too, because you said so at the beginning of the show. There was a regular comic for that for a couple of years. I had a digital subscription. It was real cheap. It was like $1 an issue. So they're bringing that back, but they're pairing it up with its sister series, Wonder Woman 77. So you got Linda Carter as Wonder Woman, you got Adam West as Batman, and they're sticking them together. So this I have to see. This I will. I would even venture to say I will fork out the couple of quatloos to get the digital copy of this because it sounds like fun. So Todd, you can look forward to seeing this on my Comixology that you and I can share.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool that they're doing this. I mean, just imagine if they did a Flash. God, what would that be? 91? 90? Flash 90? Why don't they do that too? That'd be awesome. You know? Because those things are kind of unheralded for their awesomeness in their place with geek culture, and I'm glad they're doing this. And I know there's been Batman 66 teamed up with the Green Hornet as well. Yeah,
right. Because there was an episode of Batman 66 with what the hell was that guy's name? Van Johnson, the actor.
Sure, why not? And Kato, and
that's good. It was Van something, and Kato was Bruce Wayne.
So I'm glad they're doing this. It's kind of fun, and I would love to check one out and see what it's like because we do not get a DC Unlimited, so you kind of have to buy into everything versus being able to, read a subscription series and just check things out. So kind of cool. My library has a ton of these, though. I probably should pick up a couple from there.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Okay. What about the rest of y'all?
All right. So I'm just a horrible comic book geek. I'm not currently reading anything. Probably the last comic that I had pulled for my comic book store that I would actually physically go in to get was Buffy season 8. I'm a huge Joss Whedon fan, but I'm also cheap, so I'm not.
Hey, so you and Todd will get along real good,
right? So I don't go in for a lot of comics. What you just talked about, the Batman 66 and the Wonder Woman 77, that sounds great. I mean, I remember as a kid watching reruns of the Batman 66. I bought the Blu-rays with the Adam West stuff a couple of years ago. Linda Carter is Wonder Woman to me. I don't care what else they do. At any point, she is Wonder Woman. She started a lot of things for me, which we won't get into. But
talking about your pants.
I mean, are you talking about a love of pornography?
Her and Princess Leia, right? So, I mean, rest in peace. But I'm not currently reading anything, and wow, I mean, there's just so many hours in the day and so much money I have to spend on geeky stuff because I have to pay a mortgage. You guys know how it is. But man, I mean, some of the things you guys are talking about, it really gets me excited. I almost want to go start a poll list again at my local comic store.
Well, so. Brian, I would recommend, for at least the Buffy verse, Comixology Unlimited. It's free for a month. check it out. It's free. It's kind of like the Netflix of comics. Outside of Marvel, you can read a bunch of different publishers. For 30 days, you can get a free subscription on your tablet. So I think for Buffy at least, check that out. There's lots of good stuff there. And for Marvel, Marvel Comics, Marvel Unlimited. It's like, what is it, Charlie? How much it is a month?
It is, basically it boils down to, depending if you get it on you buy in a year, but it's $5 to $10 a month. So basically I got it on promo for $60. So that's $5 a month. So if I did my math correctly, which I probably didn't. But yeah, it is, and I use it every single day. I've talked about this a lot. I have an Amazing Spider-Man reading project. I'm trying to read the entire series, 700 issues. I'm at about 482 right now, or 382 right now. Yeah, 382 right now. Man. Well, it's been going on for a while. And what's fun is that there are many of the issues that I've read a bajillion times and some that I've never read. So that's what's been truly revelatory about the process. So I'm just doing it one panel swipe at a time every day. A little bit of comics read.
So if you have a tablet, there's a lot of great resources now that makes the comics fairly cheap. And as Charlie and I will always talk about, your library also has, my library has so many free trade paperbacks that are
your library.
Free. So, take the kids' library. That's what I do. Take them to the library. It's something fun to do. It's free. And my library has, I think, several months, trade paperbacks of Buffy, Walking Dead, and lots of fun stuff even for the kids. So, there's ways to read comic books for free rather than a monthly subscription. Cool. Nice. For me, this kind of jumped out at me that, DC has been big into the Hanna-Barbera properties lately. And what they're going to do this year is going to have a crossover in their annuals. So you're going to get Space Ghost and Green Lantern. You're going to get all these different characters teaming up from you're going to get Banana Splits, which I think is funny.
Are they going to have Thundar the Barbarian?
So you're going to have all these characters.
Because he was my favorite.
And he was I'm trying to remember the guy who designed all those characters, designed Space Ghost. He designed Thundar the Barbarian.
It's on the tip of my
tongue. I can't remember his name either. But he's a classic comic book artist. But Alex Toth. Sorry. Yeah. He designed all those characters and also did a lot of comic book work. So the fact that they're,
the Banana Splits is that GIF or GIF, if you will, that you shared, Todd, where it's just a psychedelic playing the guitar with all the psychedelic going floor to ceiling. It makes you you feel like you're burned out of your mind. You're like.
So I think it's just kind of cool that they're doing this. They're embracing the weird, and they're doing these team-ups with all these properties, and why not? And the Hanna-Barbera comics they've done through DC have been kind of weird. The Wacky Racers, the Flintstones, the Future Quest.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they've done some and the Wacky Racers was weird. It was kind of like, Mad Max this year. Very over the top. Penelope Pitstop was kind of like an evil woman. It was weird. It was like Mad Max. So, check this out. There might be something that's fun. I'm really interested. But the problem is, once again, Charlie, there's no DC Unlimited so I have to pay.
When will they learn?
I don't know. And I don't know if Marvel's making any money off theirs. So maybe they're saying, hey, you're not making any money, why not? So it's just really expensive because I'm assuming these annuals are probably $5 a pop, and it's like, is it?
Todd, they're more like
maybe,
7?
Yeah,
like that Wonder Woman 77. They had
it's
a
probably
special
one shot.
that came out once last year, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go pick it up. It's
a little too pricey for what it is. It's kitschy, it's fun, but that is probably too much for me. But I think it's cool that they're doing it. So all the comics that we know of now, that seems to be the thing that's kind of the coolest that I saw. So that is it. So gentlemen, we have wrapped up our 2017 preview. What we're excited about.
Oh my!
I really expect 2017 to be, at least for film, to be a much better year than 2016 because 2016 was in the crapper. So.
Yeah, we had very few bright spots and lots of Independence Day sized turds.
So we wrap up the Thunderdome. Brian, we loved having you on. What are you working on? How can we reach you? what is your geek presence?
You know, at this time, like I said, I've been doing this for 8 years. In my spare time, I repair computers. On the side, I also have a passion for refurbishing mid-century modern furniture as well as vintage electronics.
Damn! Wow.
That's kind of what I do. Kind of what I do when I'm not yelling at my kids to stop hitting each other. So you know, that's kind of how I decorate my house as well. You know, with all the older, you know, I love, my kids love to go to garage sales and Salvation Army with me. I don't know what that makes me, but man, is it fun.
Awesome, man.
Right.
You should have a blog like
Vintage Dad.
Yeah.
Just give me a couple of bucks every time.
So Charlie, take us out.
All righty, Rue. Well, I'm going to take you home, friends. Thank you, as always, for joining us. We love this. We have a good time. We are an offshoot, a side project, a clone, if you will, of the Secret Friends Facebook community and podcast page. Find us over there. Definitely find us over on Twitter at Secret Friends U. Send us a Twitter bomb and we'll Twitter bomb you back. One last time, thank you for joining us. I'm going to tell you that sharing is caring and to keep on trucking.
Be the hero, not the villain.
From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the universe, comes a legend. The legend of Voltron, defender of the universe. A mighty robot, loved by good, feared by evil.
Our world has been devastated by the ruthless King Zarkon of Planet Doom. I will do all I can to assist you, and I am sure you will have the blessing of Her Royal Highness, Princess Allura.
Who wouldn't want to help her?
From this moment on, you five shall be known as the Voltron Force. Go now. Take your places in the 5 lion robots and battle the evil Zarkon.
He's ready.
You are the saviors of Eros. We have no other hope. You offer to come to our defense, and we trust you. Combined, you will become Mighty Voltron, King of Robots, Defender of the Universe.
The Castle of Lions holds the secret of Voltron. Just hope no one discovers it.
Silence, Hagar! Voltron is no match for me. Any one of my Ruby's gladiators could easily defeat him.